Yeah, now I see
Yeah,
you. Much,
yeah.
much more better. Yeah, absolutely.
What's up, bro? Good to see you.
Man, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you again, man. How's it hanging, man? What's happening?
Not bad, man. Just recapping, just got back from Forbidden Kingdom and stuff. It was a good time.
That's actually good to hear, man. It's been a while since we spoken to each other, and like a lot has happening, man. And I just basically want to cover up some of the stuff and do a small recap with you where everything that's happening, and you tell me your perspective, what's going on and everything, man.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, Forbidden Kingdom was a dream come true, dude. The festival was so sick. So many good friends and stuff like that reuniting. Like, it's good to see all the friends from around the state come like together for one place.
How many people were showing up for the local stage?
Oh, I mean, they come and go as they're passing by, but at one point there were like probably at least like 150 people there.
That's wild.
Yeah, and for some of the sets, like they really packed it out. I'd say the most probably had like 200 some people there at once.
Damn, that's fucking fire. That's good to hear. I'm happy to hear that all the local homies, man, are getting the love that they deserve, man.
Yeah, FK really showed love to all the like locals and stuff like that. They did it right, definitely.
And there was no mishaps with the technology, no mishaps with the equipment, no rain or any of that stuff.
Yeah, no, the weather was perfect. Like transitioning from artist to artist is always kind of interesting, the way people use effects on the CDJs and stuff. But like, nothing like the music never stopped playing, it was pretty smooth overall.
Oh, man, that's actually good to hear. So, could tell me all about your experience on Forbidden Kingdom. Like, did you only stay for that one day that you performed? You stayed the entire weekend? What was it like for you as a local artist, coming up and seeing all these people playing?
Oh yeah, no, I stayed all weekend. I'm never gonna miss Forbidden Kingdom. That's like the home festival.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of friends like flew in from like Atlanta, like Chicago, LA, all over the place. So like yeah, like walking around, seeing everybody and like seeing all of my friends that are like playing like time slots after me or the next day or stuff like that. It's like it's a surreal feeling, walking in and being like I'm a part of this festival, like putting on an experience for all like people attending. It's a good feeling.
Now, as a local artist that's trying to come out, what are the goals that you set yourself in motion that say like, all right, since I'm gonna be performing for Forbidden Kingdom, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna see artists. What are the goals that you set yourself? Like, all right, I'm gonna do this.
Like I just like to like. It's always good to like talk. Like if you run into someone like like that you may be inspired by, or, like you may run bump shoulders with someone. Just like some people overthink it a lot. You just got to treat them like every other person, but at the same time show respect. But like they just want to be treated like everyone else. It's good just to like vibe, just shake their hand. It's really good to meet you. Like hope you're having fun. How's your weekend been? Stuff like that.
Did you manage to have any networks, any people that interest you? They say like, oh, good thing that I met this guy.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know exactly where any of it'll go, but like. Yeah, I introduced myself to like Ominous and Hole. I met. They were super genuine people. I saw my buddy Sweet Tooth over there and J Moss, a couple of my boys from LA.
Hey, Sweet Tooth, that's the homie.
Yeah. I ran into him a couple times. I'm good friends with him and his girl. So yeah, it was cool. Like just people you don't get to see very often. That like just like hey, good to see you again. Keep me in mind.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. I'm happy to hear that you had you had yourself your entire full experience as a full-fledged artist coming in there. Do you have any goals that you set yourself like for next year? Says like, well, this year I did this, but next year I'm gonna be doing this.
Oh yeah. So like this year it was the art car, like the dragon stage. Next year I'm like, okay, I'm either getting in that warehouse or I'm getting on one of these opening like, bigger stages. Like that's the goal definitely, is to keep moving up throughout like, like the status of the festival, which stage I'm at,
That's very good. And then in talking about your set, like what are the songs that you actually played on your sets? Like, do we have any ideas of yourself that actually said like, I'm gonna be playing a lot of my songs, I'll be playing a lot of my homie songs, or it was just like a mixed bag or a little bit of everything?
Oh yeah, no, I unveiled 2 of the tracks off of my new EP I'm working on for the first time there.
Oh snap!
Yeah. There were a couple Doug tracks in there, and then I played a couple of the homies songs, like my boy Scoots out in LA, J Moss. Like I always try to put in like the homies music because like give them their music a platform because they all deserve it. All my friends are so talented. Like if I have a chance to play music for people, I want to share my friends' music as well.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And it's always good to have that general friendship with other artists with like-minded, because I think like one of the things that separates you and separates others from everyone else is that you're technically supporting each other and helping each other grow together as a community. And by doing that is playing your own music and playing your homies' music. So you're
Yeah.
not literally, I mean, there's not a written code or rule that says like, oh, if you're cutting up, don't be playing the Zomboy track, or don't be playing a Fizzle track, or don't be playing a Monster track, or something like that. There's no unwritten code about that. It's like if you're a DJ and you love Zomboy and there's this song of Zomboy that it's fire, it's gonna kill on your set, just go for it. But I feel like because you're not in that level yet, I feel like it's much more appreciative and much more, unique if you put out more of your own music and more of your own homies' music.
Exactly. Unique's definitely a really good way to put it. Like I didn't use a single song from anyone else on the lineup for my entire set.
That's
All
dope.
the stuff was straight underground, like, me and my friends' music and like just stuff I found from like people in the UK and stuff like So basically most of it, there wasn't a single track that you would have seen from anyone else like on the lineup. I didn't try to use none of their music,
That's good. That's good, man.
You're gonna hear their music all weekend.
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna listen to it, you're gonna listen to it, while they're in the sets. But if you want to listen to something different, unique, and something that's coming up in the horizon, hence you and the rest of the locals, obviously, you'll put out your own shit,
Exactly.
Yeah, and have you ever experienced like anyone that has been playing any of your songs, whether it's in the local or in the main states? Have you heard of?
Yeah, actually, so I didn't get to hear it in person, sadly. But after FK,
It always happens.
My buddy Concentrates. He's in Denver. I sent him a couple of my tracks because he sends me all of his music. He's super talented. So I sent him my EP just 2-3 weeks ago, and he played one of my unreleased tracks at Bass Ops in Colorado.
Dope.
He was direct support for Al Ross, and he's like, "Dude, I dropped your track out last night." Yeah, that's the first I've heard of someone officially doing it. But yeah, that was a huge moment. Like, yeah, that got some butterflies in my stomach.
Oh shit! Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you.
Hey, coming from someone like me, like there's no other feeling that to hear that, an artist that that you may fuck with, be playing your songs. My first time was Adventure Club played my song that was a collaboration with Big and Slim.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
And
Adventure Club, that's big, dude.
Yeah, no, that was huge to me at that time. And they played it.
The homies too. They're great guys.
Oh, shout out to Big and Slim, man.
For real.
They're good. They're the good ones, man. And like we found out because of a group chat when I was part of Apex at the time.
Yeah,
they were talking, and then people were saying, "Hey, have you heard that Wolfson's song got played by Adventure Club at Lollapalooza?"
Oh, it was a Lala too. Wow.
Yeah, no, it was a Lala, and I looked. I when I saw the text, I'm like, "What? The fuck are you talking about?" And I just played it. I was like, "Yeah, I know, right? Crazy." and then as soon as I went to YouTube or I don't remember where I went to, but I know I Google searched like Wolfson and Big and Slim track Granada, and then one of the first ones popped out is Adventure Club playing it on Lollapalooza and another festival in Chicago. I'm like,
that's crazy.
Dude.
Adventure Club too, like that's they're big up there. That's some OGs. That's crazy.
That's wild. And I happened to open them up that same year that I found out. Lucho, shout out to our Lucho, man.
Lucho, yeah.
That's the homie, man. Shout out to him. He said like, "Hey, I heard that Adventure Club play one of your songs. I'm gonna do you one. I'm gonna put you up for the after party of Wynwood Fear Factory. You're gonna open up for Adventure Club." I'm like,
dude, Apex is that was the prime back in the day. Like, not even back in the day, like, even a couple of years ago. They've done so much for me too. Like, there's overall good people out there.
Absolutely, and I've well, I can say that I tell people like don't sign off to promoting companies now.
Yeah,
I rather than to like if you're gonna focus like on promoting yourself because they give you the dream, the sellout dream.
yeah,
We'll put you up in the lineup. You might as well end up focusing more on your craft and on your music than on
exactly.
on your promoting because that's much more the right way. Well,
Genuine way to go about it.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
The
yeah,
genuinely way.
I've never sold a ticket. I just kind of like they kind of fell like into my lap basically. Like I wasn't a promoter for them. I got a chance to play at Treehouse like 2019 for Funkcase. And then after like that first show with them, like I was invited back, like,
That's good,
like 2
man.
months later, 3 months later, then I became a resident at Treehouse for the last like 2, 3 years.
That's
So
good. That's
yeah,
good, man.
so, like ever since then, they just like they kind of picked up on me and then it just took off from there.
That's good, man. That's good. And let me clarify this. I have nothing against Apex or Lucho or Pepe. Like all they've done over the years is being great
It's
people
incredible.
and support me all the way. And they put me on the map and put me on the shows that I wanted, and I demonstrated my hard work out of it.
Yeah, those are my
Fortunately,
brothers, dude. I could never say anything, but I have nothing bad to say towards
no,
them.
of course not. Those are the G's, man. Those are my
Yeah,
G's, man.
dude,
More
I would,
Lucho because Lucho, I used to work very very close with him in the early days when before it was transitioned to Apex, it was known as committee events, and it was around that time that we started to like fade away from committee because of Life in Color and their shitty shit.
yeah,
Yeah, that Lucho went on with Apex, and then I became one of his few right hand people on the street promo, and
yeah,
I was his guy. I was his guy. He told me, "Hey, are you down to go to Tallahassee to do street flyers?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go." Yeah, I got nothing to say, but
yeah. I really wouldn't be where I am without those guys. Like they've done so much for me, and I love the hell out of all of them.
same movie here, man. They're great, great.
Good people, man.
But as I am right now, and I look back at some of the stuff that I did, I do wish that instead of spending like over 500 hours of my time on street promo, I could have spent that 500 plus times
Yeah,
on making music. And maybe if
yeah,
I would have done that, I would probably be a little bit more far off in my career than I am right now. But
that's fair.
but that's playing the what if scenario,
That's what stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those few things that maybe things could have been different. Like even though
you're
there's no
always
regrets.
life too. Yeah, you're always gonna be like, well, what if I could have done this instead of, at the end of the day, the past is the past. You can only do what you want with your life now.
Yeah, I agree, man. And mind you, like at that time, I didn't know any better. Like I was new in the town.
It was a way to get your foot in the door. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was like the only way for myself, to open the doors in the industry and meet up with people, meet up with the artists, the managements, agents, and festival runners or whatnot. That to me at that time, that was the only way for me to get it. I didn't see music, as the viable as it is right now for me to get my feet wet in the industry.
yeah,
But now that I know. And now that I know that things are much more different, now I feel like, oh man, absolutely.
yeah. I mean, when I first came into it too, yeah, like I wish I would have started producing before I started mixing. But like everyone, like it's so much easier to just grab a deck and start learning how to do that. And then
Yeah.
I was putting out stuff, and I was getting like that's actually how I landed my first booking with them at Treehouse and stuff. Like I sent Pepe a couple of my stuff after like we talked about FK and everything.
Mhm.
Like I was just a fan at the time. And then I sent him some stuff, and then he was like, "Do you know how to play on CDJs?" And I was like, "Nope, not yet." And he's like, "Well, learn and let me know when you figure it out." So I drove like 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back to Guitar Center every day after work for like a month straight. And then I hit him up, and I'm like, "All right, I'm ready." I'm like, "What you got?" Like, I'm ready. Whatever you want to throw at me. He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, yeah, I'd only played like one small show in like Tampa and like a couple little like Fort Lauderdale things. And he's like, all right, you're opening up for Funkcase November 21st. I was like, I was like, my heart almost stops, dude. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, like damn, okay, I'm getting thrown into the fire right now.
Just like that. No, just
yeah, literally. He's like, all right. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you'll open Treehouse November 21st for Funkcase. So this is like 2019, and I was like, okay, dude, I practiced my set for like it was like my first real set, you know. So I would come home from work every day and practice it until I fell asleep, like just to make sure I had it down pat. And then like after that, I got invited back again, and then you know like we started this whole residency thing. And then, yeah, before COVID and all that stuff, and even a little bit after COVID, you know, Treehouse was the home, and Pepe and all those boys were like, yeah, they did it for me, really.
that's fire, man. And
But that's when I also, I was saying, I learned to mix first. But then after I started getting, you know, into these shows, I'm like, okay, I need to start pumping out some music because I got some ideas now. And then that's when I got thrown on a DAW, you know. But I wish I would have started with having my own music to play when you come out of the gate.
yeah.
That's always the best way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I wish I had that mentality back then when I started out as well, you know. And I've been DJing for over a decade, man. So like I never knew any instruments or any of that. I just know I love to DJ, and that was my thing.
I can't play an instrument for shit. You put a guitar in my hands, I'm like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, exactly.
I could play like Smoke on the Water.
No, yeah. I was the same. Like I wanted to DJ. Then when the whole EDM circuit started to pop off even more back home in Puerto Rico, that was back in 2010, 2011. I wanted to be there. I want to I want to play in this festival. That's fire. Just playing house music and shit and whatnot. Oh, dope. Yeah. What is it that I got to do? Oh, you got to make music. Oh, great.
You're like, okay, here comes another 3 months before there's credit. Yeah. You can get like, I mean, I give all of like, you know, the dubstep DJs, like the rhythm DJs that like have made a living off of strictly DJing, like that's incredible. Like, it's so impressive to like be able to like hone that skill well enough to where like people don't expect your music from you. They just are come to see you mix other people's music because it's better than you know? Like that's hard to do. So like to do that, that's some major props.
Absolutely, man. And I started to see like shit, bro. Like people really fuck with it when I'm DJing. It's like how much they will fuck with if I put out my own song.
Exactly. Yeah. So like DJing did help kind of build like a structured fan base.
Yeah.
Then like, you know, for when I finally started making music, there was already numbers being presented because I already had fans from like mixes and stuff like that. So there's no right or wrong way to go about starting out, but like, you know, it's just one's different than the other. It's just how, you know, it's just not linear. You can blow up.
Exactly.
Yeah. You could do that shit overnight, whether it's, you know, your song or your mix or whatever.
That's the cool thing about the industry. Something that I learned over time is that there isn't a right path. There are better paths, but there isn't a right path to be out there, to be successful,
how to get there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just that it all depends on your journey. It all depends what you're trying to reach, and it all depends of how hungry you really are, you know, and you feel like this is something that you see yourself every day doing it without a flaw, then, you know, obviously this is your thing. Like you should be doing this every day, you know. But if this is
it's how committed you are.
It's all about how committed, how dedicated you are, how patient you really are. And
patience definitely key. I don't remember, I saw like a tweet or like a while back, I don't remember which house artist, I think it might have been Dom Dalla or Dom Bresky, one of them. I know it was a D. One of them, they were like, dude, I was like a bedroom, like, you know, like I didn't blow up until my late 30s. And now I'm like headlining. I don't know if it was Dom. He's been around for a while, but like
Don Diablo.
One like a big house artist I saw, like it was a while ago, and it like resonated with me. They were like, dude, nobody even knew who I was until I was like 35 years old, and now I'm traveling, touring all over the world. So I'm like, damn, like like if you're really committed to this shit, it may take longer than some kid. You know, there are kids blowing up at 18 years old right now. And then people that are blowing up that are just turning like 35. Like it's not, it could happen at any time. It's just how committed you are to actually making it happen.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, look at me. Like, I'm already in my early 30s, and I'm starting to pop off with my podcast right now. And
Yeah,
and we're still in their baby stages. We're still in. That still got a few more years, but little by little, it's getting there.
yeah,
Cascade was the other person that was with that. Cascade didn't start his career until his mid 30s, early
yeah.
40s, and that's where look where Cascade is right now.
Yeah, the dude, the biggest in the game, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about patience and working extremely hard and be very consistent about it. Never stop doing it and knowing that, the risk and the investment that you're willing to put out.
Exactly.
And yeah, being humble
You gotta
overall.
be able to picture yourself there. Like if you can see yourself on that stage playing in front
Yeah,
of 30,000 people, that's what drive. That's what should be driving you. Like you just can't lose sight of what you're aiming towards.
exactly. Hey, I did it. It
Yeah,
only hey, what many people been doing it for years, I did it less than 6 months.
that's what I would love that to happen. Yeah,
Because hey, as soon as I was a new cat, I didn't know anybody. All I do was just street promo. And 6 months later, I ended up opening for Yellow Claw and then playing at Life in Color. And there was people for me that been working with them for years, and they just got their time to
yeah.
open on these shows. And I'm like,
We have a lot in common about that. Yeah, because I came down here from Chicago like 4 years ago. 2018, I moved down here. I didn't know anybody. I was barely I was just getting my feet wet in the scene, and stuff like that. I was just going to like local, like the Hideaway shows, like
yeah,
local rhythm stuff, trying to like learn from them and like stuff like that. And then flash forward to 10 months, a year later, I'm playing for Funcase in Miami, after like just going from knowing literally not a single soul down here to having that shot with all these guys and stuff like that. It's crazy. And then to go into play FK the year after that.
see what I mean? Like it all shows like how hungry you really are and how much you really want it.
Yeah, I just got a shot. Like I wasn't a promoter or anything. I just sent my music. I got in touch with the right people and they just gave me a shot. And as soon as I got that shot, I knew I wasn't gonna let myself down. I was gonna take it and run with it as much as I could.
That's pretty good, man. That's way better than how I did it. I was a promoter
like
first.
Said, there's no wrong way to do it though. There's no
wrong way. There's no wrong way, but there's definitely better ways.
Hey, but don't knock yourself. Adventure Club playing your music, it happens. Everyone falls into it some different way.
That is true. Like Dad and Borgor has played my music, and there's just a bunch of other people that played my music, and I was just like over the moon. And I was like, holy crap! I didn't even realize that people fuck with my shit like that
Yeah,
to extent.
I'm never gonna get tired of that feeling, dude. That's just something else.
Yeah, no. The other day, I was like over the moon. Infinite. Shout out to Robbie, man. He's my boy, my homie.
He seems cool. I've never met him, but he seems like a dope guy.
He's a dope person,
Right.
and very humble, very happy, like work, like willing to work, willing to do stuff. Like I love the
He's on
guy.
the grind. He's always pumping stuff out.
Yeah, so he just recently released a BBC radio mix not too long ago, and he played our collaboration song.
Oh hell yeah, that's cool.
So it was me, Infinite, and Mantic, and we did that collaboration song, and he played it live on BBC Radio, and I was just like over the fucking moon again. It was like, holy
Yeah.
crap, Adventure Club all over again. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Because dog, BBC fucking
Dude,
radio.
oh, that's huge. Yeah.
World premiere. The song it's coming soon, but a world
Dude,
premiere.
I'm sure that's a heater. You, Mantic, and Infinite, that's gonna be a banger. I know.
Oh my god! And it was like our first time doing a melodic dubstep song together.
Yeah.
So imagine, this is
Yeah.
our approach of doing it, and we fuck with it.
Guys right there too. Yeah. They got some
Absolutely,
heat under their belts.
yeah, man. And I was just like,
Mantic's crazy. Mantic goes hard.
Ryan is the shit, bro. Shout out to you, brother, man. Mantic.
About that new mix, I forget the name of it.
Oh, the recent one, yeah,
Oh,
the Into the Mantip.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure it's like his volume 5.
Yeah, volume 5. He just, yeah.
That's a heater, bro. I put that shit on at work. Oh, Yeah,
Oh,
no,
bro, I had to listen to it a few times because some of the VIPs stuff that he put out, I was
right?
like, woo,
It's that USB he has, man.
yeah,
Everything. He
dude.
has everything, dude.
Let me put it this way: the last song of that mix is our collaboration song.
Oh shit! No way.
Yeah, the Infinite is singing on it, bro. That's our collab,
Yeah. Holy shit! No way. That's sick,
bro.
bro. That's a banger. I love it.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. And it's like I haven't done a collaboration since Big and Slim, so imagine how long that is. And the last time I released a single was back in December, you know.
Yeah.
So this is like people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? Wolfson is in this song?"
Heck yeah.
People are gonna ask you like, "What did he do?"
Nah, man, you got more credit. Give yourself more credit than that.
No, I know. I made sure I let the whole world know I was part of the project. In fact, like the project, the whole concept of that project itself, I started that project and I thought I had it finished. Like because and I use
finish until you send it to someone.
Yeah, until I sent it to someone. I sent it to Mantic. Mantic just like, I don't know what the hell did he do, but he just made it 20 times better. And then here comes Infinite with his vocals, and I'm just like,
you're like, damn, okay, I thought I had a track, but now we got a fucking track.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the hell did I do? Like this, like, how the hell did you make it? I had it here. You just made it there.
Yeah, you're like, I can still hear where I was coming from, but now it's like this whole monster, this beautiful monster creation here.
Yeah, like I see it, I hear it. I'm like, man, I was nowhere near to what these guys did, man.
That's the beauty of music production, dude. Once you get a couple brains working together, like,
yeah, it makes me like, okay, I want to send all of my projects to these guys, and if they fuck with it, let's just go. Let's like, yeah, whatever you guys want to, let's do it. Let's do it.
That's what me and my homie actually are doing right now. I was on FaceTime with my boy B-Juice. He's out of Winter Haven. He played FK2. Day one homie in the scene and stuff like that.
Dope.
Yeah, so we were on FaceTime, like combing through each other's projects. I'm like, Ableton, he's on FL, and like picking out. I'm like, yo, send me that one. He's like, yo, send me that one. I'm like, yo, send me that one too. I want to try and like, we'll fuck around, you know? So like, it's just fun when you like, you have someone you can just like bounce ideas off. You know? Like take their old projects that they don't want to work on or don't know how to fix anymore. And you're just like, oh, dude, I could go with this and run with it. And then there's a whole new track right there.
Yeah, and you know, and it's funny because I was never that type of person to do collaborations because sometimes I feel like I don't measure up to their standards, so I need to like measure myself to that level of standards before I can like, okay, if you want to fuck with here it is. I had bad experiences in the past with having collaborations with people. Like I said, the last time I did a collaboration was with Big and Slim because they were the only ones that we were able to hit it, click it, and let's go. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's run it about. Every other person that I've tried to do a collaboration is like a back and forth or a like I don't hear from them for
just kind of goes away.
I
only have like I'm not one to really collab either. Like because when I start a project, like I work on that project until it's done.
Yeah,
I'm not one to have like 15 open projects just waiting to be worked on. Like once I have an idea, like I can't sleep or like I can't work on something else until I have that one done.
Right.
Like I mean, I got a couple in the works. You know, like I'm not gonna say too much. You know, just some homies around here and stuff because it's nothing too progressed yet. But I feel you. Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult to collab with people like. It's a different feeling unless you guys are unless you're both committed to like we're gonna bunker down and get this done. You know, it can just get lost and like 2 weeks will go by and neither of you have touched it or like and there goes a whole idea that you had that you could have used on your own track.
Yeah, so that's why like I put myself like a cap is like, all right, if I don't hear from them for like in 2 weeks, that's like, all right, I'll take this project and finish it myself, you know, and even so. I feel like it's not even the feeling itself is not the same because you said like I'll finish it, but the idea was like, hey, let me do something and let the other person work his magic and and have that taste. And I feel
It brings
like
the freshness into your discography, you know.
yeah,
Up, you know, with someone else. Yeah.
yeah, and then when you don't get to finish it, and you'll be like, "Fuck it, I'll finish it." The magic itself just wins away because it's like,
Exactly. You're like, damn, this could have been. I was excited to see where this is going, but
yeah,
I'll do my own thing on it, whatever. I guess.
and and the feeling itself is just gonna be like, you know, like I did it, you know, I finished it, but it's
I finished it.
yeah, it's not the same.
I think might have been able to be, maybe not, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's why I'm very picky on what I'm releasing right now. Like, I have like 3 or 4 tracks ready to be posted, but like, I really want to like, I want to find a home for this EP, because this is like by far like an entire different like a different sound from me, and this is like where I've truly fell into like my niche. Like, this is where I'm going with the project. But like at the same time, my birthday is on Thursday.
Oh, shout out to you.
Yeah, I'm excited. Actually, next weekend we're throwing a little local show in Fort Lauderdale. So like, yeah, we're celebrating my birthday. You know, a couple homies like Spud's playing, I'm playing, my boy Trippy Dubs, B-Rod. You know, like a couple of the like locals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking about like, I'm like, I got enough. I have a couple tracks. You know, like I'm sitting on. I could sacrifice one off the EP and drop it on my birthday. You know, because like I got to give them like. I haven't posted in probably like 8 months, like 6 months, probably a new track. And I'm like, dude, I have like some bangers waiting right now. I'm like, I could post one on my birthday and then, you know, still sit on this EP and send it out later and just like fill in a different track with that one. Cause like, dude, I'm itching to show everyone this new music I'm working on. Like, it's by far the best stuff I've ever made. I'm so excited.
Dude, make that as your motivation. Like, let me make like in the EP itself, just finish at least the first half of the song, you know, enough for it to be a build up and a drop. And then you switch it to the next song or something, you know, give something to give them like new flavor, something like give them like the teaser. It's like, ooh, this is what I'm cooking, guys. Wait for it. Coming soon.
Promo, yeah. No, I need to do that too. That's smart. Or maybe even just like drop a clip of one of the tracks, you know, like something like that.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing that I can tell you about that is like if you already have a song, well, at least if out of the EP, I don't know how many tracks you have in EP, but if at least in that EP, if you have one song already, like it feels like it's ready to go, start promoting that song and then have its own single release. Put it
on the EP as well.
And then put it on the EP and give it like, this is a teaser, a single that I'm giving you guys up.
And like coming on this EP, yeah.
Exactly.
What I was thinking about doing. I'm thinking about, I'll probably take one and release it. I'll probably take the week to promo it and stuff like that, and then be like, surprise, it's my birthday, like freebie.
Exactly. You know, and make it like a short original version out of it. And then when you release the EP, you make the extended version of it.
Yeah. Or like a VIP of it, something.
Or a VIP of it. Something that gets the people is like, holy shit, yeah, I heard your song like not too long. And like, you already have a VIP? What?
Yeah.
What?
I totally take one of these tracks and do that.
That's like the best way to captivate people.
That's a good call, yeah.
Thank you. I mean, it's funny that I know a lot about how to market music and all. And it's easy to market songs. It's not easy to market podcasts. It's a different ball game.
Hey, man, I'll do everything I can to help share this because, like, I'm honored to be on here.
Oh, dude. Appreciate it, man.
I was scrolling through your page and I'm like, damn, dude, like, he's talked to some really cool people. Like, why the fuck does he want to talk to me? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, okay. He's got some cool guys on here. Iman, you know, all the boys that you talk to. I'm like,
huh. Yeah, no, I got everybody from like, at least I got at least the important people from the Grocery Boys Discord group, you know, and I'm part of that group, so it's like those are homies of mine, and I fuck with them a lot. And I'm
not a member of the Grocery Boys, but like
you've heard of them.
You know, we're affiliates, we're homies. Yeah, like my group, my homies, like my tight group and their tight group, we all know each other. We're all close and stuff like that.
That's dope. Yeah, because you mentioned Sweet Tooth, and Sweet Tooth is like literally one of the main dudes of Grocery Boys.
Of course, yeah, bro. Like he's one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life. Like we brought him down here from Miami. I was support for him, and he brought J Moss actually to the show to play too.
J Moss is another one, yeah, and Al Ross and Levels.
Al, dude, yeah, Al's a beautiful human being. I love that man so much. But yeah, so we brought not me, I didn't do anything, but they booked Sweet Tooth for Treehouse, and he's like, "Can I bring J Moss?" You know, like he puts his homies on, dude. Like, yeah, like he's just such a good dude. Like, I love the shit out of that man. He's
Absolutely.
So cool.
And that's what I love about Grocery Boys a lot. And every member that works there, you know, like Sweet Tooth, Mantic, Infinite, Jax.
Another one, my boy.
Yeah, 10 Grafs.
10 Grafs is a goat.
Jax. Man, there's just so many of them. Josh.
It's like 50 some deep or something.
Yeah, no, like the roster itself is crazy, you know, semi-dubs, like every single one of these people, like you can tell that these people they want to grow together because in some way they got themselves screwed over by the industry. So so for them not to get screwed over, they decided to form an alliance with each other and help each other out.
Beautiful thing, man. Like, it really is.
Making themselves a nice community and making it to the next level, making something big.
That's such a smart marketing tool. It's like even like not even just in music, like they have like gaming and like, you know, all their other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, have an entire giant little like community. And it's like, dude, that's the best way to get like promotion for either side of it.
Absolutely.
You got streamers over here, like, and even musicians are streamers. Like,
that's
my boy Kishin, bro. Like, he's a streamer and like he makes music every once in a while. Like, there's so many of them, bro.
That's what I love, the formula that they found out. Like, whatever they did, that it worked out because, you know, like you said, you got everybody there. That's why I managed to fit in perfectly with them, not only because of a producer standpoint, but I let them know it's like, hey, I'm an engineer, I'm also a podcaster, I do this and that, and I fit in right there perfectly. It's like,
they're a very welcoming group of people.
Yeah, bro, and everybody has a purpose. Like,
they all fall into somewhere.
Yeah, they help each other out, and if like you know, all of them that I've asked for them to come over to the podcast, like they just graciously say yes. Dude, and I was just so happy that they say even yes. I was like, thank you for helping me.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we all appreciate, you know, like, the platform too. Like, I've never been a part of an interview podcast like this before, and like this is a whole new platform that I can help share with like the people that support me, and like, but that would also bring new people over to your page.
Absolutely.
Like, when I post this, you know, like it's gonna bring, like, I'm not saying it's gonna bring traction, but like, you know, there'll be some new eyes on your page, you know.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that, man. And I asked nothing more than just that, you know, like, and
people in the scene that we talk, you know, we could bullshit for hours, you know.
Yeah, exactly. All I want is have a conversation with you, man. That's exactly, all.
Dude. Especially after the first time we talked, I was like, all right, man, I could talk to this guy all day long.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And that brings me a lot of joy. The fact that I can manage to talk to other artists and like-minded people that we've been through some shit and we can understand each other's pains and experiences and come-ups, you know? And then try to find a way to help each other out, you know, by letting the whole world know. It's like, hey, look.
Oh, yeah. You got to come up together. You got to come up with the people that support you, you know?
Absolutely. I feel like that's like the best way to be big, or to be big on anything. It doesn't have to be music.
I don't want to be the only one of my friends playing on the big stage, you know, like, whether I get there or my friends get there first or whoever gets where at first, you know, like, we're all going to bring each other up.
Exactly, man. And I wish I had that, you know, that's type of community here in South Florida at the time when I started out. But whatever community that I started out, it was like, it was there, but we weren't having that much chemistry, or I feel like, and I'm not trying to bash all my homies that I come up with. I'm not trying to bash anybody. Like, every homie that I perform with, it's a homie, you know. Yeah, but I felt like my experience, but I feel like I feel like I was the only one that know what was going on and know what works and what doesn't, and had the vision, the vision for it. While some of these like either didn't want to work it, or
they just wanted to have like the fame, or like they wanted to have the status, but they didn't want to grind and get there.
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah, no, I definitely left a bad taste in some people's mouths when I first came down here. So I got booked for like my first show down here, and everyone was like, "Who the hell is this kid?" Like, you know, like I was here for under a year, you know, and then I started playing, like I played that Funke show. Everyone was like, "Oh, you know, like it's fucked up. This kid doesn't even like, he hasn't been here for how long? There's so many people that have been here for years doing this and that." And I'm like, dude, I'm not saying I'm anything special, or like I did something. I got lucky. Like I got wherever I was because I talked to the right people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sure you deserve the stuff, like the limelight. I'm sure you deserve the spot, but like, it's not don't blame me for it not happening, you know? Then like those people, like over time, you know, like kind of realized who I was, and like, you know, that I was kind of like legit. So then those relationships mended, and, you know, like now I don't have a single enemy down here, honestly, that I can think of at least.
I definitely have like probably one or two.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like you ask the right people, I'm sure there's a couple of motherfuckers that hate me, but like as far as I know, I don't hate anyone. I have no bad blood.
Yeah, no, I've no bad bloods.
Yeah,
I don't. Hold on.
He's like, all right, I gotta watch what I say here, but yeah.
No, that's the beauty of having my own show and my own podcast. I get to say whatever the fuck I want to say.
Dude. Yeah, just tell them big fuck you to whoever.
Yeah, I just know when to start wars. I have that power. I have the power that if I want to start a war, I'll say it right here.
Yeah,
but because
pick and choose your battles.
Yeah, but because I feel like I don't want to say much about it, I can say it to you, and I'll still bleep out the names. You know.
Yeah.
And I've done it. I've done it plenty of times here in the show.
Hilarious, dude. That's having the power of your own podcast. I love that. You can literally just say fuck off to whoever you want. Just be like, I'll cut it out later.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely some times in which I say fuck you to, and I left it there and leave it as it is.
Yeah, I mean,
and then there's times that I say fuck you to, and I bleep it out.
Are you gonna bleep that out this time?
No, I'll bleep out those names. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I was like, damn, bro. okay.
Now,
I won't get too far into that. You know, like we don't need to harp on that, especially if you're gonna bleep out who that was.
No. I like I say, I have no hate nor ill intentions.
You've been around for a while.
Yeah, I've been for a while, and I've seen some shit, and they've done some shit. Not just me, but to homies of mine, real close of mine.
Yeah.
That I do not fuck with that, and I don't like that shit. Like, and when I see that, I call it out.
There's no need for that shit in the scene.
No, exactly. There is no need for that shit in the scene.
If you're not trying to help people grow, then there's no reason for you to be in my business.
Exactly.
If you're not here to support, then like I don't want to even know who you are.
Exactly, you know,
and especially other artists. Like if you're, like I'll do nothing but hype up other people in the scene. Like try and give other artists a platform when I play places. And like, but like if you're, so why would you ever need to talk down about me?
Exactly. And if anybody who knows anybody about me that can tell you anything about me, they will say, and I'm not trying to be self-centered, I'm not trying to be like, you know, like egotistical about it, but they'll tell you what type of person I am.
Dude, I could already tell. This is the second time I've talked to you, and like, bro, you're a genuine person. I could already
Thank you.
Yeah, you're the homie, dude.
And I
you crossing someone, you know?
That's a thing. I'm not that type of person. Huh?
Unless they cross you, then you know, like it is what it is.
See, that's exactly how shit starts. Because I don't cross anybody. Everybody's on their own lane, their business, and all I do is just help and support and, hype that up, and when
So
they're
until you
talking,
hear back about someone saying some shit, and then it's like, okay, you want to do
that's
this?
what pisses me off, when people talk mad shit about me behind my back. And it's funny when they talk mad shit about me in front of people that are homies of mine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like okay, where we stand with this? Like, what did I do that
It's all
I
like, dude,
that
like with all the dubstep scene and like these rhythm, like the rhythm kids, like there's so much drama. Rhythm,
yeah,
all these kids that have known each other for like 7 years and all this shit. And I'm like, I have no idea who I know all of you individually. I didn't grow up or go to high school with any of you. I don't
right.
drama bullshit. Like if I'm friends with people and you don't like my friends, okay, I'm gonna have my friends back and stuff like that. But like, don't come at me for something that I didn't do, because frankly, none of these people know me enough to even have negative feelings towards me.
Exactly.
It's all he say, she say, all this stuff.
Yeah, and then the he say, she say spreads around like wildfire and rumors. And
to the person, and it's like, okay, what do you want to do about this? Are you gonna bitch on social media, or are you genuinely pressed about this?
Exactly. That's why when I hear this type of stuff, like because I'm also like against social media, I could really give a shit about social media, but I don't say anything at social media. I keep everything to myself, and I keep it to between the people that I fuck with, that I trust them, that say, well, I just found out this just happened. I'm like, okay, I don't know why, but okay. Yeah. I just keep it moving, and I just tell people, it's like,
you can do, bro. That's all you can do.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna bitch about it or call them out right there or in their faces, even though I would like to.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not gonna act fake to you if I see you in public.
Yeah, when I see you in public, I'll be nice and courteous, and then just move along. I'm gonna
you come up to me like trying to dap me up, like, oh, what's up, bro? How you doing? I'll be like, yeah, bro, like, what's up, dude? And then I'll just like move on.
Exactly. Sup, dude. Yeah. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. All right.
Yeah. Just keep it moving, dog. I don't have time for that bullshit.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And that's how I keep it real like that. I don't really like get into this whole high school drama crap, bro, because dude,
I call the rhythm scene middle school, bro. It's like middle school all over again. These kids all running around talking behind each other's backs.
These kids, stuff. Man. These kids these days.
He's an asshole. He said this. Oh, he said that. I'm like, bro, why don't you all shut the fuck up and make music? That's what we're here to do, all right? If you don't like someone, fucking well, fight them or just don't talk to them.
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't get the energy. Like, I don't get the energy and the time and the energy. Like, it really is a lot of time that for you to fight someone over what stupidity.
Like, rumors or talk, like, yeah. It's like, dude, you could be doing so much more with your time than trying to undermine someone else's career.
Like, right, bro. Like, bro, if I told you how I've heard people talk shit about me and say, oh, fuck Wolves and fuck that N guy. What does he know? He's a washed up artist. He doesn't know what he's talking about. If I let that shit carry out, man, I'll be cursing everybody on fucking Twitter.
Yeah. Like, dude, yeah, I've had like people like, oh yeah, he only got where he was because he promoted and stuff like that, when I've never even been a fucking promoter in my life. So I'm like, yeah, like all these people just like assume, they just like to assume shit, It's
yeah.
Like, bro, yeah, they're like, oh yeah, like, he's riding so-and-so's dick. He's doing this and that because, like, oh, he's sold tickets for this and that. And I'm like, bro, I've never sold a ticket in my goddamn life. I just made music that people liked and I got a shot, Like, you can make up whatever you want. You can assume whatever you want about me. But like, there's no other, you don't know the real truth, and that's fine.
Exactly. And that's fine by me too. You don't.
Yeah, I know how I got here. I don't give a fuck how you think I got here.
Exactly. And I always like to preach about my experience within the industry and all the stuff that I've done, because like there's no reason for me to hide it, or there's no reason for me to lie about it. I tell you how it is. Like, look where I am. Look all the stuff that I did. Look at my experience. Like, my whole catalog speaks for itself. My resume, you can tell.
Right, we're talking on your goddamn podcast. You
damn straight.
Yeah.
That's straight, man. And I'm not trying to here to preach about some of the shit that I've done or not done, but I learned a lot. I learned.
You have experience, like, yeah.
And
I've only been in this shit for like 3 years now, like. Like, I'm still very. You've probably seen and like done more things than I will like in the next 5 years. You know?
Bro, like, this is something I tell a lot of people who doesn't know me. Like, they say that, oh, Wolfson started out back in 2016. That's when his debut started. Like, well, to be honest, the name Wolfson started in 2016, but me, I
I was gonna
started.
back in 2010. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in the nightlife scene since 2010. So 12 years. 12 years in the nightlife scene, meaning that I've been DJing and
Yeah.
promoting clubs, festivals, and whatnot. Like, producing music for almost 7 years, engineering for 10. Like,
Yeah, dude, yeah, you've been around the block a couple of times.
like I thank everybody who tells me I'm a young buck or I look young, but in reality, I'm in my 30s, man, and I've been here in this
Still
game.
young, dude. That's still young. Don't let anyone tell you 30 is old.
No, that's me saying I'm old.
Okay, yeah. I turned 23 on Thursday.
You turned 23?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm like, damn, I'm out of fun birthdays now, you know?
at 20,
21 was cool. 22 is like, I'm finally not 21 anymore.
that's fired.
Like 23, what the fuck do I do with that, you know?
Hey, at 23, I was finishing college and I was moving into Miami.
Hell yeah, yeah. I just moved. I just moved here temporarily. I'm moving into a house next month with a homie, like signing a lease and stuff like that.
Oh, that's dope. Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna be in Fort Lauderdale now, and I just got a pretty good. I just moved jobs out to Fort Lauderdale too, so it's all falling into place right now.
That's good to hear, man. I'm happy to hear that, man.
Yeah, life is good. I can't complain.
No, of course, man. Life is good, man. And we always have to preach about life, being like, like sit down, have a chance to sit down and look at
Take
this.
a breath, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like,
I'm a huge advocate of that, dude. Yeah.
yeah, man.
Like, life is so busy, bro. Sometimes you just got to calm down and be like, it's not that bad. I'm stressed out right now, but like that shit'll pass. At the end of the day, like look at the fucking water, look at the sky, like shit's beautiful.
Yeah. It's it's sometimes it's good to just like sit down and look back like all the cool things that you've done up to now. It's like holy shit,
where you came from, where you started, and where you're at.
Yeah, and you can realize like holy shit, how small is the world? Like not too long ago, I was a nobody, and now I'm somebody, and I'm meeting people around the world through my podcast and talking to amazing people, established artists, established filmmakers,
Yeah, got homies playing your music in other parts of the country and shit. Like people downloading my music in fucking Nigeria and shit like that. Like Australia, like it's insane, dude.
Yo, it's just like take a breather of like look.
Give yourself a pat on the back every once in a while.
Yeah,
everyone deserves it for one reason or another. Like. Everyone deserves to be proud of where they're at. Doesn't matter how big you are, what you do. You may not even make music. You could be a fucking waitress, but you worked the shit out of that shift the other week. Like give yourself a pat on the back. You were tired, but you grinded through it. Like everyone has a reason to be proud of themselves.
And the cool thing about that is that when you don't expect the outcome of it, when you least expect it, is when good things brings into the table.
Exactly. Yeah. No, dude. Yeah. Like this last month was pretty like tough on me. Like I moved. My lease ended pretty shortly. Like sooner than I expected it to, and like it wasn't an official signed. Like just roommate, whatever. So I like quickly had to move out. So then I got this place, on short notice just for like the temporary thing until next month, and I'm like. So much money is like I've had to put out for all this stuff that I'm doing, this transition in my life. But then at the same time, like I look around and I'm like, well, I have no reason to complain. Like as much, it's stressful. Yeah, it's gonna cost me a lot of money and stuff. But like, I'm here. I'm happy. Like everything happens for a reason.
I agree, man. And it's funny that you say that because last month I was in that same debacle. Like I was stressing the fuck out of myself of trying to find a new place for me and my fiance, and the prices is just ridiculous. And when we try to find something, somebody's just snatches right there, man. And you did everything by the book, and you
The
keep
thing
trying.
is, yeah, but the thing is, there is no book. There is no book. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, like you think you're doing everything. But there's no precedented way. It
no,
seems like, yeah, there's always going to be, dude, the scene is so oversaturated. You know what I mean? Like there's always going to be someone on your tail.
yeah,
Yeah. So you just got to either keep up or like, even if you need to take a break, like there's nothing wrong with taking a step back and like, even like, like this shit is straining on your mental health. Playing shows, staying late nights, late hours, like
oh yeah, absolutely.
the music you're working on and stuff. Like, even if you need to take a break, like take a step back and like someone's like there, like posting while you're away, it's going to be for the better because when you come back, you're going to come back with a quality product.
Exactly. Exactly. And that was one of the things that happened to me earlier in my stage, that I got burned out very quickly because of too much stress, to shitty job, shitty hours,
Yeah.
not consolidated all by myself. I was in a deep depression. I couldn't focus on making music. My music was not where it was supposed to be. I was making it. It was pretty much a pressure point for me.
Yeah. You just feel like stressed out, trying like you have to do this, you have to like meet with this
Exactly.
standard. Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude,
Exactly.
like that's how I feel in the scene. Like I try to like remind myself, like when I see all these other artists that are like posting crazy like music production, like beyond anything that I even could begin to understand, and then I'm like, bro, I gotta understand, like these people have probably, like most of these people I'm like looking at, I'm like, why can't I make something like that? It's like, dude, okay, they've been doing this for twice as long as I have,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, dude, like I want to be there, but it's just like, how can I? And then I'm like, okay, yeah, this person went to audio engineering school and like they've been producing for 6 years, 5 years. And I have like 2 strong years under my belt. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like I got to remind myself, like, some people, like we didn't all start at the same time, like it's just like I overthink a lot and I'm like, I want to get to that level. It's just like, it takes time.
No, it definitely takes time, man. And even if it takes time, you have to be careful with your mind, man, with your mindset. You have to
Yeah.
take care of yourself, man. Don't let yourself, be stressed about that and pressure yourself about it. And if you
Yeah.
have to take it a hiatus just for a bit, just to like have your brain to breathe a little bit, man.
Gather yourself. Go on a vacation. Yeah. Get away
Yeah.
from your computer. Yeah.
Yeah, do it, man. Do it because
even music festivals, dude. Like I come back from music festivals so inspired from hearing like all of these artists, music and
good.
like that. You come back, you're like, okay, this would sound cool though. Like I heard them do this, and it's
Right.
like, like as a reference, but like it's like I could do something different. But like, yeah, hearing music is always just like live is always a refresher for me.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. And it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with doing that, man. And there's nothing wrong admitting to do any of that stuff, man. In fact,
Everyone has their own ways of recovering.
exactly. I have my ways. My ways is just playing my hobbies.
Yeah.
Doing my hobbies, spending time with my fiance. And spending time with my family. That's the best ways for me to clock out my brain now and just like do stuff on the regular, going to the movies, Other people, it could be skating, it could be surfing, it could be fishing, it could be exercising, it could be
Exactly.
bicycling.
Yeah. Everyone has an outlet.
Yeah. You just need to have that outlet. It's
Exactly,
important to have that outlet,
Yeah, because if you don't, you're gonna drive yourself crazy in your room every single. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And then being a bedroom producer.
Some of the best producers like I've ever like heard, like they're all like a lot of them, like not a lot of them, but like I've seen some of them are so hard on themselves.
Yeah.
You've gotten to this status where like you expect nothing but the greatest things that you've put out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're not always gonna be the best track you've ever made, but people are still gonna love them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you hold yourself to such a high standard, you can't always like surpass your standard every single time. And it's like, dude, like they're like, some people are like worried to put music out because they're like, oh, it's not my best work, but it's still like mind blowing to others.
I mean,
so sometimes you got to take a step back. And like, okay, this is still good. It may not be the best track, but like when you have 35, 40 tracks in your discography, it's going to be hard to beat every single song every single time, you know?
And it's funny because I had that mentality before in which like I made a song and it's good. Okay, what can I do to make the next song better than this song?
Yeah, and that's why like I've had these tracks on this EP like loaded up for a while, but like I keep making better music after each song, and I'm like each song keeps getting better, and I'm like, okay, do I want to hold myself down to this EP like being my debut on it if I'm still making better music, you know?
Right.
So like I've been just slowly replacing tracks like as I go through it. So now that's why I'm like kind of like cool with like dropping this track on my birthday, because like I know I already have a couple projects that I'm more like excited for in the future that could replace it on the EP.
Right. And that's even better, man. Making that EP, it's something that you love, and it's a journey for yourself as well. You know, defining what you are and what you do. You know.
Yeah.
So walk me through the process of your EP. Like, what actually came with the idea that you say, like, I want to do this, you know?
So basically I was sitting in my room, you know, like obviously I hopped on Ableton and like I started resampling. Like, you know, I started resampling, like dove really deep into it for like 3-4 hours, just trying to like warp and like learn how to resample and like create like completely different sounds out of stuff.
Right.
And so like I threw like, you know, like a decent like kick drum pattern, you know, whatever, just as a solid like bass intro build up, and then like started throwing these like resamples like on over some drums. And then like I was like, okay, this sounds cool, but it needs this. Resampled something else, and then like I dove into this for like 5 hours, and I ended up having like 4 bass layers that were all resampled for like an hour straight. And they all just like, as soon as I placed that 4th one, it was like a puzzle piece, dude. Like as soon as I placed that 4th one, they all just made this one sound. And like, I literally like, it was probably like 11:30 midnight. I got up out of my chair and started like jumping in my room. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I fucking found it. Like I cracked the code. This is what I've been looking for. And then like, I was like, okay, everyone complains about like how in dubstep now like people like stride away from like orchestrated like intros, like the intros have gotten boring and stuff like that, and like, you know, rhythm, it's a lot of just kick clap until the drop starts.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I want to overproduce the shit out of an intro. You just see how crazy and how theatrical I can make it. So I started like I found, you know, like choir, like church choir, like vocals, and then like woodwinds and strings and like all these like war horns, like all, like I just overproduced the shit out of it until like I found them in key and everything too. Like I keyed all of them together, like even on like MIDI, like shit like that. And like once I like played the like strings, the horns and like the orchestra together, I was like, dude, this is some like dark, evil choir shit. Like, dude, I can't wait to show you. That's gonna be the track I'm dropping on my birthday. Like,
oh, that's dope.
I played it at Miami Music Week and stuff like that when we talked last time.
Oh, that's
like,
fucking dope.
I played it at FK, and like everyone, like the reaction I get from the crowd when I drop that shit, like it's unlike anything I've ever had before. So like, yeah. So that was the first track I made for the EP. And then I was like, okay, we going with this like dark, scary, like haunted, punchy shit. So then I made the second track is also done already, and that's called The Devil's Work. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The vocal sample is from an interview with like one of the ministers of the Church of Satan, just explaining like what their idea, like the idealisms, you know, just like that dark, like scary vibe stuff.
Yeah.
And it just flows so perfectly into the build up, and like the build up cuts out and like to the last like phrase of the like interview. And like, that track is the one that Concentrates played at bass ops.
Oh.
Yeah. So like I have a couple like already like locked up that like I know people already fuck with. So like I'm taking those sounds that I've made, like both of those kind of have the same structure and sound design. And I'm like, okay, I know how to take these and make them different though, at the same time. I
That
just found I finally found my sound and I've just been running with it with this
right.
EP. This EP is gonna be the first taste of that.
That's very, very interesting of how you actually come up with your EP and how you manage to even found the sound that you say like, all right, I just chopped these out into 4 different songs and bang, I
Yeah,
got myself an EP.
yeah, dude. It was I don't even I don't know how it happens. Like sometimes I'll go a week without being able to make anything, and then over a weekend I'll pump out a track. And then like the next day I'll come home from work and I'll only have like 3 hours to work on music.
Right.
I'll write an entire first drop. But then I'll go another week. Like the last week I haven't touched my dog. I've been I've been busy, I've been moving and stuff like that. But like when I get that like spark of inspiration, it's like I can't think about anything else. Even if I'm at work, I'm like, okay, I'm only thinking about when I get home, I'm gonna do this. It comes and goes, and like, yeah, that's how this EP started. Like over the span of like 3 days, I basically had like it was probably like more like 5 days, but still, I had like the first track finished besides like the master, and then the second track like halfway done. I was just like, I came back to it, and I'm like, I worked on this. It took me 5 days to do this, but I haven't posted a song in like 4 or 5, 6 months. Like it's crazy. Like I get that like spark of passion, like the inspiration. Like I need to do this. I can pump shit out, and then it'll be like, okay, I have writer's block. But yeah, this EP started off extremely strong. So like, I'm waiting. I'm not gonna rush the next tracks I'm putting into it. Like it's gonna fall back. I'm like this week, like I'm sure I'll be at work or doing something, and I'm gonna be like, light bulb clicks. I'm gonna be like, okay, I gotta get on my computer right now.
Dope. That's dope, bro.
It's exciting, dude. It's never really fallen into place the way it has with these last 2 tracks. So like, that's how I knew. I'm like, dude, I gotta come out with this. Like, this has to be like my EP.
That's cool to hear, man. And congratulations on making this EP, man.
Yeah, sorry, I was rambling a little bit, but
no, bro. Like you're good to go,
excited, bro. I'm so excited.
And I love hearing these stories, man. I absolutely love it because I can understand what you're going through, and it's not easy making something like that and make it very cohesive. A lot of times when people try to do an EP, they need to have like a story behind it, something that more or less to tell what's happening on this EP, and I'm happy to hear that you found the sound and what you're trying to go into with it. And when the EP comes out, you can actually feel like how cohesive all these songs are and how each song like makes sense to the next song.
Even flow into each other, like
yeah. And I like that, man. I like that idea because
when we get done with this, I'll send you the 2 tracks off the EP. I'll let you check them out.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's dope.
I'm excited to share them, bro. You're going to fuck with them.
Hell yeah. Let's go, man. Let's go. And the reason why I'm very intrigued of what you were trying to do too, because I said myself, like, one of my goals is to at least have an EP by the end of this year, or at least finish my EP, at least finish working on the songs. And like the next step will be like
sending it out for releases and stuff.
Yeah, but I decided like I know what I want to do with my EP now. And I've talked to a lot of artists about my idea behind the EP because I'm telling a story. The EP itself is gonna call it the Lone Wolf, and it basically talks like the EP itself will be mentioned in a way that all my struggles and all my dreams came into together, all my dark times and all my good times are in that one EP, and the artwork, I don't know how it's going to work, but I know that half of the artwork is going to be like light, positive stuff. And the other half is going to be dark, negative stuff, I
love that, dude. Finding like the beauty in the darkness and like
the yin and yang
for a reason, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And each song from beginning to end, it'll be like, I started like with this, and then something good came, and then something bad, and then something good, and then it'll
Roller
be
coaster.
like a
Yeah.
roller coaster, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, I fuck with that. That's
and then
genius.
end it with a song that is like, this is who I am, this is how it defines me, and bam. And all the song, it's gonna be like, I marked it myself as like, it's gonna be free hardcore tear out dubsteps, with one of them to be the intro, the other one be the like a metal step version of it, and then
Oh,
free songs will be like happy melodic stuff. Like
yeah.
one is a melodic dubstep, another one is gonna be a future rhythm,
Yeah. Yeah.
color bass, another one's gonna be like a chill step, and then the last song will be a melodic drum and bass.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know,
Okay,
that
sick,
gives
dude.
that gives the energy, you know, that gives the
We're
happy
here
energy.
now, baby. We're live.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
can already hear it. Yeah.
and just tells people like, this is how I am right now. Now I'm just like, let's go.
Yeah, dude, I love that. Damn, you got it. Yeah, that's a whole fucking. That's a genius vision you have for that, dude. That's
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I've been having this in my head for many months. I haven't gotten the chance to like start working on it because of the podcast. I've been working
Yeah.
extremely hard and editing it out, and I got interviews that gotta edit out all the way till July. Imagine that. So
Yeah.
and probably until August. This is probably gonna be released by August, man. If I'll be honest with you.
Dude, that's pretty soon, honestly, for like, all what you have going on right now and stuff like that. Like, that's
Yeah.
not a bad turnover rate at all.
No, not at all. And
That's impressive.
thank you. And that's not including the ones that I'll be interviewing sometime in the future, you know?
Exactly. Like, yeah, you got to take time for that stuff as well.
Yeah. So like it's kind of like hard for me to actually have like, okay, now I have the time to do this. Now I had time to sit down
And
and the
balancing
words.
with music and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but because I love podcasting a lot more than music, like I focus this more and have music to be like, we'll see you. But I'm happy to hear the way you actually did it, because now it just gave me the same idea. Like maybe I should do it that way too. Just resample a couple shits, have it like a long 8-bar, 32-bar, and just chop them out, and then work different drops out of each one.
Yeah, like with like, I work a lot with quarter notes, obviously, because it's all this like punchy like dubstep and rhythm shit. So yeah, like I resampled like two or three different samples, and then like I was like, okay, I have a patch that I've made already that lay under like one of my original sounds that just like drives the rest of like, it's just crazy how it fit in. Like as soon as I found it, I was like, dude, I have a sound that I've made that can still like, you'll know it's a Doug sound, like a Doug track.
Yeah.
You'll know it's a Doug track when you hear both of them. Like after these get posted, when the more come out, like once I start playing them more at sets after the EP releases,
Yeah.
you can be like, oh shit, yeah, like that's his track. Like I know that because I know this sound.
That's funny because I just recently, the last song that I released, it's called Raf. And I used the same sound that I used on an old project that I was released on dubstep.net. And I think because of that sound, I was able to do my first metal step. And
I love the death step, like hardcore.
Dude, I've never been so proud of myself when I make this because I make this song so original and it came from my old project. And then I literally listen to old projects of mine and I just like form into like, let me just shove this because now it makes more sense. Back then it didn't. Now it does. Now I'm doing
understanding also. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like I finally found my sound, and this is how a Wolfson sounds like, this is my sound.
Over. I love tear out and heavy like death step, metal step, shit like that.
I must send out some of my songs.
I'll give you some feedback, definitely.
Absolutely, yo. And yeah, bro, like I finally found it and I'm just like, fuck, now I know what should I do with this sound, But but I want to take it a step further, not just only have that as my main sound, but I have that as like, this is the sound that I use as Wolfson. but
Exactly.
look all the shit that I can do with this sound.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like once you find it, you're like, okay, how many different ways can I recreate it? But just so
Yeah.
it comes in differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's like another like obviously like one of my main inspirations, like Sudden Death, for example.
Yeah.
Like
Sudden
he
death is
has this,
fire.
you know, when Sudden Death is playing, you know, a
Yeah.
Sudden Death song when it comes on. They're not all the same sounds, but it's the same energy, the same like ambiance, you know a Sudden Death song when it gets dropped, just because it's that how he comes with it, how he brings it. And that's what I'm trying to do with this new my new sound that I found. Like I found the sound, but I'm trying to bring it differently every single time.
Right. Bro, it's
It's a
fire.
beautiful thing, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, honestly.
Absolutely, man. And let me ask you, like, what is actually your creative process when it comes to making these projects? How you start with it?
I start from beginning to end. I start with an intro,
Mm.
and then I start with an intro, because honestly, like most of the time, like if I have like something like when the light bulb clicks on and I am like, oh, like this like would hit, like listening, like producing in my head, a good drop is nothing without an intro.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if I can think of the drop already, I got to find the intro for it. Then I start hunting around for like which way I want to do it, and like thinking about vocals and stuff like that. I always think like when I really think of a track, like when I listen like or like a drop like idea comes to me, what are the vocals, the pre-vocals, like the pre-drop vocals that are going to drive this? And whether like I find them online or like most of the time I pull samples off of like random videos from like YouTube or like stuff like that. I tend to stay away from splice vocals just because everyone has done every single one of them,
Right.
already. But so then like even like I've like resorted to even like pulling like my last like one of my last tracks, Haberim. I posted that last year on my birthday, and I pulled a sample from Slaughter to Prevail, like a metal band from Germany, Germany or Russia, one of them. I don't remember right now. But yeah, like I tend to like try and find like a vocal that I like think would work with the drop that I'm imagining, and then once I think I know what I'm gonna look for, I just like the vibe is already there in my head, and I just start with the intro. I start and finish that like front to back.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, like once I start a project, like I can't work on something else until it's done.
So
like,
you have to finish it. You have to see it through.
I start and finish every project, because if not, my dumbass is gonna forget where I was going with it.
Right.
Yeah, if I work on something else, I'm gonna go back to that project and be like, okay, what did I even want to do?
Interesting.
Like, I'm thinking about this one and that one at the same time.
Right.
I want to put my all into every single track,
That's pretty interesting, because a lot of people, including myself, when we do a certain part of a project and we feel like, oh man, I can't work more about this because like I've got ear fatigue. It's like, let me just save it and then
you overplayed it. Yeah, shit like that.
And then just work on another project. And then once I'm working on the other project, it's like, oh, I know what to do next on the other one. Let me finish this up and then I'll come back again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like if I like, I'll work on like when I first start a project, even if like I barely like create the bare bones of the intro, and like I like drums first always, of course, like find my drums and stuff like that. Build like, even if I build a bare bones intro and drum build up and then start laying the drop, at least I have like, I'm creating the vibe and that helps me lay the drop. Like if I want to create like a theatrical, like dark, like scary experience.
Right.
I got to start with like these like low ambiance, like graveyard tones, like low, like undersetting, like pitches, like heavy heartbeats in the background, like breathing and shit like that.
Right.
And then that just like that, like, yeah, that shit, all like the effects and everything, like the theatrical side of it is what really inspires me to like make the drop like that dark, evil shit,
That's pretty cool. And how long does it take you to finish your projects? Like it could be a week, it could be a month.
It could be a month. Yeah. Either or. Like it's just
okay.
Like I said, I could finish a track basically in like 3 days if I'm feeling inspired, or I could work on something. I could lay the intro, start laying the drop, and then I'd have to take like a week, and like, you know, I'm just like, I don't have anything for this right now. Or I try to like go back, and I'm like, I'm trying to force it in there, and it's just not working. So like, yeah, I'm all over the place, dude. Like, I can't just like constantly like, oh, I'm going to drop like 2 songs a month. It's like, no, I'm going to make a song. I can make it in 3 days, or I can make it in 2 weeks, you know?
Right. And but when you say like finishing, like you say like finishing the creative side, the idea of it, or like the creative and mix and master.
No, like, yeah, like I like mixed mastered like
okay.
like one of these first tracks like on this EP, I literally wrote the entire track in one night. First and second drop, full intro, full fake out intro, full like fake out build up in between, like in the first intro, or like not intro, yeah, in the first like drop. Yeah. There's like a fake out build up, and it's still in the first drop. Wrote the whole track basically in like a night. So I was like, once I found, that's when I found those like 4 layers, and like I started freaking out. Like I was like, this is it. I wrote the entire track, and then like the next day I was so excited to wake up and go back to it. I mixed it down, and the next day it was mastered, and then like it was done in 3 days. And it's one of the best tracks I've ever made. Then this other one, like, you know, like I laid the first drop, and like I found this new sound. Like I made it, like I was just fucking around, and I made that sound and layered it over a couple like resamples. And I was like, okay, this first drop is so good. How the fuck am I gonna like make it better for the second drop? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give myself like a couple days, and then come back at it like with a fresh mindset. And then I ended up writing the second drop for that track, and ended up making the second drop better than the first one. And like that, yeah, like, so the one, The Devil's Work, is what I'm referring to. The second drop of that song is the best drop I've ever created in my entire life.
Sometimes it always does.
Dude, yeah, like I like, it's so hard, like especially in dubstep, everyone expects the first drop. You know, like when you're looking for music to play live, you're like hunting for music, you're like, okay, skip the build up, go to the first drop. If the first drop doesn't impress you, you know, you move on. But like, dude, if someone skipped the first drop of this track I'm talking about, and they didn't bother to give the second drop a chance, I would rather, like, the second drop is the best part of that track by far. And I'm trying to help, like, I don't have much influence, but like I would love to help like bring back like the reputation of like the second drop should be where you bring it all home. Like the first drop in the build up, and then the second build up, it should like first, like, yeah, the intro of the like before the first drop is like you're bringing you into it. The first drop is like, okay, we're getting somewhere. The second build up should have like elements from the first drop and the intro, and tie it all in together. And then the second drop should just bring it all home. Like end of it, like it should be telling a story, you know, like get better as it progresses.
Right.
So like, yeah. And this was the first time I was actually really able to capture that. And like, I'm super excited about that.
That's cool, man. That's good that you managed to find the formula and managed to like get it done when at the time that you want to.
Yeah, it may not happen every time, but like it definitely fell into place this one.
So it's very different for every other project, you know?
Yeah, dude, it's all over the place. Just like, honestly.
And is that same way when you're doing collaborations with other artists? Like, do you start like that and then you send it over, or you wait until people to send you over and you just like?
So for the like one of my first collabs I had with my boy Trippy Dubs, I already kind of had a track, and this was like this was before like I really like fell like heavy into it. I knew how to put together a good like song and a good drop, but like I really didn't know like technicalities of everything.
Right.
So like I sent him a project, and I was like, dude, I'm like, you can do whatever you want with it. Like it was basically a full song, but like it obviously just wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, take it, run wild with it. And he's years ahead of me in production. Like he's a genius, and like he's a very good friend of mine. So he was like, yeah, like let's work on something. And like I sent him something. It took him like, he's like, dude, like I sent him a full project basically. So he's like, dude, it's gonna take me a little bit to get back, like, you know, finally like go back through it, comb through it, and do my twist on it.
Right.
And it was like 2 weeks, whatever. Like we stayed up there, like we would call each other. Like he's like, oh, I want to do this with it. What do you think? And this and that. And like I was like, yeah, go for it. And then it came back, and like we have basically a full track right now. that I have played out live, and like it goes crazy and stuff like that. But like he's just, you know, like he's such a good producer that we came back to it like 2 weeks later, and he's like, bro, I think I want to wipe it. Like not all of it, but he's like, I want to go back. We can do this better. And I'm like, dude, like I've played this at Treehouse like 4 times already. Like people love it. And he's like, bro, but we can make it better. And I'm like, okay, like you're the fucking boss, dude. Like I'm not gonna tell him he's wrong. You know, he knew what he was talking about, and now we've gone back through it, and it's like, okay, it was probably for the best. Like we could have put it out, but would it have been our best work? And this is our first time collabing. We want to do it as good as possible. You know? So yeah, like most of the time with like collabs on my end, like I'll send them something that like I have, or I'll just be like, yo, send me stems. Like especially because like it's homies. Like I'm not at the level where I'm reaching out to like bigger artists and being like, yo, can I send you stems? It's more of just like, you know, like my homie over here from here, like, yo, bro, like send me some shit you're working on that you're like, don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I'll base it off of that. And like, I'm very good with, that's what I'm doing with like my boy B Juice. We talked about like a project that he's working on, and he loves my intros. Like he loves how theatrical I bring stuff in. And like I heard like a drop that he had where like I knew I could bring in like a dark like triple underneath like his quarter notes and stuff. So I was like, bro, this intro has nothing to, like it's bare bones. I'm like, send me the stems. I will build the fuck out of this intro, and I already have an idea of how to bring my sound into the drop. I like working off of other people because like, you know, like working off other people's projects is fun.
Yeah.
It is. Like this is the first time I'm on the receiving end of stems. Like the last time I sent my stuff out. Yeah. But like, being on the receiving end of a collab is like, oh, dude, I'm going to take this and go crazy.
One of the things I definitely wanted to ask you is like, are you always willing to try other genres?
I've done like, so I'm not from Florida. I'm from Northwest. I'm from Northwest Indiana, the Chicagoland area. And I had, there was like a group of like dudes from the town over from me that started like making like raps and like, you know, like rapping and like stuff like that, making like melodic, even like just like good music. They were called Loudmouth Entertainment. Shout out Loudmouth from back home. I'll plug them on this video. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. And my boy Damon makes music, dude. He's talented, crazy voice on him. So like when I first moved down here and started producing and stuff, like he's like, bro, I seen you been making all these crazy ass beats and stuff like that. Cause he really doesn't know what, like, they don't really know what dubstep is out there. It's like, you making crazy ass beats, all these like sounds and shit, bro. He's like, dude, would you be down to like remix one of my tracks? I was like, yeah. And like, he went from like rapping to like doing this whole like melodic wave shit. So he sent me a couple of his melodic tracks, and I ended up making like a house track out of his melodic vocals and stuff.
Yo.
Yeah, and it's low-key a slapper, but like I've just never like showed anyone it. House music is fun, dude. I went to space for the first time last weekend.
Really?
I've lived in South Florida for 4 years. I've never been to Club Space.
You'd never been to space before?
I went one time before I was 21, and it was for a dubstep show.
Oh, damn. That was the good days.
I went last weekend for AC Slater.
Oh, yeah, wow.
It was a fucking party, bro. Like I liked house music before and stuff like that. I respected it. But like after that night, dude, I'm like, damn, like I may have to make an alias. Like house music is fun, dude. Yeah. So like I would be down to make some house music, you know, like I fuck with it.
All right.
I don't know if it would take me some time, like if I were to dive into like the deep dub, like down tempo shit, I wouldn't want to really do that until like I really mastered the sound design behind it. Cause it's totally a different, like, it's a total different sound design.
Yeah, that's a ball game. That's a whole different league.
Yeah. Like I could make house music right now, but like to make good deep dub compared to like what I make now.
Mid tempo and shit. Yeah.
It would take a long time to have to relearn sound design for all of that.
And that was like the next question I was like, gotta ask you in regards to sound designing. Do you believe as a producer, is it a luxury or a necessity?
Oh, that's interesting. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
No, so like I know I'm not gonna like mention names, but I have a couple people who have been very, very successful in the dubstep scene.
Mm,
And like I've like, I've been like I've asked them for lessons or whatever, like, just feedback. They give me feedback all the time, like a couple close, like very close people to me. I was like, dude, like, how do you make these? And like one of like the biggest, like one of my biggest homies, like, and also one of my most successful homies, he's like, dude, you want to be honest? 80% of the sounds you hear, you can learn to post processing can beat sound design if you know how to properly post process.
yes.
Like I'm not knocking sound, dude. I would love to know how to like create sounds as much as I want to, like whatever I want, like have it in my mind and know how to work, like a fucking VST like that.
Mm,
Yeah, no, like honestly, I believe like
resample.
I always like to have like at least like one patch of my own
Mm-hmm.
from like Serum or Phase Plant. I'm learning Phase Plant right now.
To good luck.
I use
Good
Phase
luck,
Plant
because
a lot
it's
for like my
hard.
ambiances and like my background, like no, like nature, like noises and shit.
Mm,
I'm finally like starting to make like cool shit on there too. I always like to have like at least one of my own sounds layered in with all of my resamples and shit like that. And like if you think about it, resampling is like you're creating your own sound.
it is sound designing at the end of
It
the
is
day.
still sound design, absolutely. So yeah, like I don't think you have to have 6 base layers and they all be written yourself on Serum. If you can take something and like, expand it and warp it and fucking make it your own,
Yeah,
that's sound design, bro. Like sound design is not
absolutely.
just making shit on Serum.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's how that's how a lot more than like most people know. Like most people, like a lot of big artists and stuff like that, like it just all it takes is a couple, like resampling. It's a beautiful thing, dude.
Absolutely. And it's like the most easiest thing to do, the most funnest way to create
It's
sound.
easy to make your sound unique.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you. I was gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Like there's like you and me can have the same sample. The same
Yeah,
sample.
but when I put my chain on it, my post processing rack on it, you'll never understand. You'll never know that I didn't. Yeah.
And
I
if I do my shit, it's gonna sound way different than what your shit is. And it came from that same sample that you and me have.
Exactly.
And we
Like,
both can have 2 different things.
Yeah, it's like just as long as you're not just EQing out the like low ends and just like keeping
Yeah.
nah, dude, like post processing is sound design.
Yes.
Like, nah, I'm glad we're on the same page on that.
Oh,
Because, like,
absolutely. I'm a big advocate of
yeah, that
resampling.
kind of like I was so like worried about like I'm like, dude, like I know how to make basses and stuff, but they're not the basses I want.
Right.
And I'm like, and I was over here making crazy sounds on post processing other samples just to get inspiration. And like one of my boys, like big, like way bigger than I am. Like he's like kind of like not a mentor, but like I've always looked up to him. He's a homie though. He was like, bro, like if you're making cool shit and it doesn't sound like anyone else's, it doesn't fucking matter where it came from.
I agree.
And like, yeah, like, dude, it doesn't matter if your shit's 16 bar, 8 bar, like if it comes in at the 32 bar on the drop. If it sounds good, it sounds fucking good. It doesn't matter if it builds this structure that everyone else has.
Right. It's funny because Tengraph said the same thing to me in the interview. Like
he's the guy. I love 10 graphs, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I've been listening to his shit for so long.
Mark is an amazing human being. Shout out to him. He and I have another interview coming up again. Third one, which is like
me and him are mutuals on social media and stuff. Like we've talked. Like, yeah, there's huge respect out to 10 graphs.
Absolutely. And dude, you learn a lot from him. Like you learn a lot, man.
Yeah, dude. One of like when I first got into like this real dark, deep, like heavy, angry shit.
Yeah,
it was like him and like Code Pandorum and shit like that. Like like that's where I really found my inspiration for like this dark, heavy shit that I'm making.
That's freaking dope, man. And I love having that conversation with him and his ideas behind it and his music. It's just like, dude, he's fuck.
A true like music theorist. Like he knows music theory. He's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and it's funny that some of the songs that he has told me before, like, it's like, oh yeah, you would have never known that this song came from another song, It
Yeah,
came because it came from a sample. You just didn't realize it.
exactly.
I'm like, damn, bro, that's how fucking good you are.
Yeah.
Like
No, that
shit.
man is insane. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, like, why is it that you choose your artist name, Doug?
Oh, this is a funny story, actually.
Go.
Okay, so the creator of Doug was Doug back in high school.
Duh, like Dougie.
It was my drunk alter ego in high school. Yeah. 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 So like, okay, I'm gonna tell you the whole story.
Oh,
I
let's
can't get in
go.
trouble for it anymore because I was 16 at the time. We all used to. I was friends with like kids older than me all through high school and stuff like that. So like, I started smoking weed like freshman year, and like they'd all been smoking for like 3 years now, whatever.
Yeah.
We would always like every time when I first started smoking, we would smoke on my homie's back porch. We'd go down to his basement, start playing pool, listening to music. As soon as I would get high, I would go sit on his futon in the basement while they were playing pool and pass out immediately. I would fall asleep because I was a little, I was young. I was smoking weed, so I would fall asleep. And one day, it happened. Like, we got high, same shit. We go down to the basement. I pass out on the couch. Our homie Dan, my buddy Dan Fleming, he comes downstairs like to hang out with everyone. Like shows up. He shows up. He's like, "Yo, like, where's Ben?" They're like, because my real name is Ben. Yeah, obviously, I'm sure you know that, but I'm not sure if everyone else knows that.
Right.
He was like, "Yo, where's Ben?" And he's like, "Yo, he's fucking passed out on the couch again." He's like, "We've been trying to wake him up for fucking hours. Like, he's not budging." He's like, "All right, hang on, I got him." Dude, he comes up to me, like, gets in my face like this. He's like, "Doug, wake up, there's a fire." Like, screams. I've never been called Doug before in my life. He says, "Doug, wake up, there's a fire." I wake up and immediately I answer to it and start like freaking out. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And ever since then, Doug was my alter ego in high school for being like you get drunk or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Doug. And then like so when I moved down to Florida, I started making music and all this stuff. And like, it came time for me to find my name. One of my best friends from back home moved to Tampa like 2 years before I did. And so like, she's like still like my best friend to date. Like, we've known each other since kindergarten. And we were sitting in my room after the Funk Case show, or no, it was the week before, I think. One of these, like somewhere around there. Actually, yeah, no, it was before the Funk Case show because we had to figure out what to call me.
Mm.
And I was like, bro, I was thinking all these stupid ass like dumb names and shit. And then I'm like, all right, bro, like I'm stressed. Like I'm gonna go take a shower real quick. I'll be back. And like I come back into the room and they're all staring at me. I'm like, what? They're like, we got it. I'm like, what? They're like, Doug. Lame as fuck. D-O-U-G. She's like, no. D-U-G. I'm like, yo, that's just kind of hard, dog. Like, I'm like, yo, that kind of works. Like, Doug, like dug your grave type shit. Like,
like
underground, like Doug. Like, yeah, there's a whole thing coming out with my name. Don't worry, bro. Like, the marketing behind it's gonna, like I have, but yeah, Tatum Gleason, my best fucking friend. I love you. She's the one that came up with Doug. My friend Dan Fleming made it up in high school, but Tatum Gleason is the reason that I am D-U-G.
D-U-G. Shout out to her, man. Shout out.
Shout out. I love her, dude. My day one. After and through anything, bro, we'll always be there for each other.
That's what's up, man. I'm so happy to hear that and happy to hear the story about it, man.
Yeah, dude, it's a funny story. I mean, it's not as like everyone else. It's like, oh, like, oh, I got this from like this word means this in like the Greek like Bible or like whatever, like.
Oh, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. The name Wolfson came from the Wolfson campus in Miami-Dade College.
Hell yeah, bro. Exactly. It's something about your past, dude. I fuck with that.
Yeah, like
people are like, oh, it's like a Greek term for this word, and like this means like finding light in this. I'm like, dude, mine's just my drunk alter ego from high school. Yeah,
mine is
D-U-G sounds cooler than D-O-U-G.
Mine because I was on my way to go to space, and then I saw the sign says Miami-Dade College Wolfson campus. I'm like, damn, that's a fire name. That's a fire name. I love it. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. What if I switch the F for a V and an O with a U? And it's like the wolf, and then you got the sun as in like daylight sun.
Yeah. No, dude, that's hard. Yeah. That's genius.
Why not? Why
It's
not?
so simple it works though. Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly how mine came about.
Yeah. Those are the best times when you came up with the best ways instead of finding like I need to have a better reason to it. Like, no, it's those,
Like
those drunken
something
times.
hard like excision or like, like no, like it's like it sounds cool. Like, yeah. It does, yeah, like no, like but it has meaning behind it. That's why I fuck with Doug. I almost actually rebranded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I first started making like a lot of like heavier shit, like my tear out and stuff like that, like I almost rebranded. I may still keep the name Future Events, so I'm not gonna say what it is just to keep it a secret.
Okay, yeah, keep it a buck.
Yeah, I almost did lose. I almost thought about like scrapping Doug, but like at the same time, I don't think I could ever leave it. Like this is my name. It's like everyone knows who Doug is. Like everyone who knows me calls me Doug. Some of the people I meet don't even know my real name. Like they think my real name is Doug. They call me Doug. They think that's my name. It's like, dog, my name is Benjamin. Dog, like it's just
No, definitely keep it the
I've
name.
known people for like 6 months, like more than like 6 months, over a year, and then like someone will call me Ben, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Bro, Doug isn't my name." They're like, "Bro, I've known you for a year, and your name isn't Doug." I'm like, "Yeah, like it's who I am down here at this point." Like everyone calls me Doug.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, you established yourself as a Floridian here, man. So now you're Doug from here, from Florida.
yeah. I guess I am a Floridian now.
Yeah. So, what has been your greatest accomplishment up to this point?
I don't know. I'd have to say like 3 of them come to mind immediately.
Okay. Yeah.
So the first one was my residency with Treehouse. Playing like, dude, I was direct support for Mode Step, Murata.
Shout out to the homies, Mode Step.
Like, dude, one of my biggest icons. I love that man.
Josh and Pat?
Mode Step came out during my set. Like I was direct support for him. He came out like 15 minutes early to like vibe with me, like, and listen to my set. Like had his arm around me going ham for my shit. And I like, dude, like that was like one of those times I'll never forget.
Josh is a great person.
The residency at Treehouse, dude, they gave me the opportunity to play and like be direct support and open for so many of my idols. Like it's unreal. And then the second one is definitely both times I've played Forbidden Kingdom. First year, I played the second year of FK. I played the Silent Disco. Then moving up to this year, playing on top of a fucking fire-breathing dragon.
Fire.
And then the third one's got to be having one of my unreleased tracks being played at Bass Ops in Colorado.
Let's go.
That was literally, like, to this day, like, when he told me he was rinsing my track there and like told me like it was snapped and it popped off in the crowd and shit like that, like, bro, I haven't felt a feeling like that besides playing live. Like, like that was unreal for me. So yeah, those have got to be them.
That's fire, man. Before we wrap up with this one last question that I got for you, I give this opportunity to a lot of people that everybody. I just recently started doing this. I give this opportunity to like, if you guys got a question about me or have something particular that you want to know, like, I'm an open book about it. If there's like a question about the industry or something that you wish to know, or yes, I hope that you know about this, or do you know how to do this, or what should I do about this and that. I give this opportunity to give my interviewers like, do you have a question about me that I can help you answer and maybe guide you a little bit? Is there something in particular that you have that you want to ask me?
Honestly, dude, like talking with you as much as I have, like, I feel like I'm already like flooded with knowledge that you just naturally bring to me when we talk.
Oh,
like everything we've talked about, like all day, like you've answered every question I could even think of right now. Like I want to say, okay, I'll take this time to say thank you, bro. Thank you for having me out. And thank you for always being that like knowledgeable person that like you've already guided me so much through these last 2 times we talked. Like, dude, I couldn't even think of another question that I have. Like you've already given me so much like insight on everything. And I thank you for it, dude.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for taking your time and have a conversation with me, man. And
Of course, anytime.
you know that the DMs are more than welcome for you to hit me up with questions. If it's like, yo, Wilson, you think this is right, or yo, what do you think about this and that? And I'll be able to answer all of them, man. So,
Of course, bro. I appreciate it.
of course. So we'll wrap it up with this last question, and we can end this with a high note.
Let's do it.
Let's say that you're walking down the street and all of a sudden a UFO pops out of nowhere and they say, yo, Doug, we need your help because you and only you can help us out with our shit, man. And you'll be like, all right, Doug, let's do this. He's like, yo, but before you leave, just so that you know, we don't know how long it's going to be for you to be out. Here's a piece of paper. Write 3 pieces of advice that you'll give to someone. What are those 3 pieces of advice?
Number 1, things aren't always as bad as they seem.
I've never heard that one. That's
in the moment, things may seem like they suck and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know? Like I've done a lot of irrational shit in my life because of the way I've like my mindset over things I've been going through and stuff. When I look back on it, I'm like, how the fuck am I even still here? You know?
Right.
So things are not as always bad as they seem. Number 2, tell your family and your friends that you love. I've lost a lot of friends and a lot of family in the last even the last year or two. Like people like I moved, even people from like some of my best friends from back home that I just didn't really get to stay in touch with enough, you know, when I moved down here.
Yeah.
And then I wake up one day and find out that they whatever happened to them, they're not here anymore, whether they did it themselves or something happened. So just remind the people around you that you love them is number 2. And number 3 is do whatever the fuck makes you happy. Fuck whoever says what about you. If you're happy, do whatever the fuck makes you happy, bro. When I first moved down here, I got so much hate from people from my hometown when I was like first got into this music and tried to start making shit.
Really?
Yeah. Like I had people like subtweeting me, you know, like talking, like making jokes about like me trying to make a music career and shit. And like now, you know, like, and I'm somewhat established, like it's all kind of dissolved. And like now there's more people from my hometown supporting me than there are hating. But back in the day, those people that were hating, I don't hear from them no more. I don't see no hate no more. But yeah. And then, so on top of that, I thank the fuck out of everyone from my hometown that I grew up with in high school and shit like that still stay in touch with me and support me, even though I haven't seen y'all in 3, 4, 5 years, bro. Like that shit means the world to me. Like people that I grew up with in high school and shit like that I haven't seen in 4+ years are still supporting my music and like commenting and liking all my shit, you know, like that's what it's all about, dude. Those are the real ones. And I love the fuck out of every single one of you.
That's dope, man.
That's all I got to say about it, dude. Yeah.
And that's perfect, man. Those are very perfect things, man. And it's very unique and different. And the explanation behind it, man, I could not agree more to it, man.
I appreciate you, Doug.
No, I appreciate you for coming over to the show, man. Thank you very much for this, man. And you know you're a friend of the show, so whenever you feel like you want to kick it with me again, let's schedule it and let's do it again, man.
Anytime, bro. I'm right here. I'm always here.
For sure, man. Before we leave, plug yourself out. Let the people know where they can follow you and what they can expect from you.
All right, yo, this is Doug signing off. You can follow my Twitter at DougOfficial. My Instagram is thisisnotDUG. My SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/DougOfficial. I'm going to be dropping a track actually on Thursday. So stay on the lookout for that. I love y'all. Thank you so much for having me out, guys.
Let's do this, man. Thank you, Doug, for coming over to the show, guys. And thank you very much for listening. And remember, every week is a brand new episode or a brand new topic. So always remember to like and subscribe for your weekly episodes at the Lone Wolv Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. And of course, the YouTube channel at youtube.com/the Lone Wolv Podcast.
Yo, one more thing. If you want to buy some Doug merch, baby.
Buy
some Doug merch.
Let's go. Let's go.
In my DMs. Brand new shit. It just came out like last month before FK.
Hit up Doug's DMs, man. If you're looking for some new Doug merch, hit up his DMs right now.
Murder music on the front. And we got the skull circle on the back.
Oh shit, that's what's up. Oh yeah, no, we going all in with this shit.
Yeah. We got hoodies, we got crop tops, we got everything. We got socks even. Yeah.
Okay.
I got Doug socks, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, dog. I love you. I'll see you next time, dog. I appreciate everything you do.
Of course, man. Have a good night, my man. And guys, comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. Share your experience. If you got something saved for me, a specific topic you want me to cover, you want Doug to cover, please let us know in the comments down below. And we'll try to get to it on the next episode. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one.